Welcome back to the Rhino Show. I'm Austin. Today I'm joined by Kwan
How's it doing? How's it going?
and a little bit of change of plans here. Tal isn't with us this week. She's feeling a little under the weather. She's been running around saving New York for the last couple of weeks. So hope
Running
she
around
feels
in that
better
landfill.
soon. Yes, in that landfill. Joining us today is unfortunately producer Dustin.
What's going on, everybody? My debut has returned for season 2.
He is the guy that drools over Hillary Clinton every time she's on the
Oh.
TV. So he's back. We have the liberal. Great to have you here.
Glad to be back.
So we got a wide variety of topics to cover today. But first, I want to start out with Joe Biden's disastrous speech. So
Oh my gosh, yeah.
what he talked about was what he shouldn't have talked about. I mean, let's be real. Out of all the things in this country, for example, we could start with crime.
Mhm.
Crime is affecting everybody. Crime was something he did not talk about. Now we can continue with this. So he didn't talk about crime. He didn't talk about inflation. He didn't talk about, the border. Like all the things people care about, he doesn't talk about. But what he did care about, talk about Republicans, MAGA, he doesn't like those guys. He had to throw his abortion pitch in there because that's all Democrats do. This is a speech from somebody that already accepted defeat. He knows that they have no shot of winning these midterm elections. If you're the leader of your party and you don't give out a speech like literally a week before elections, like tell me he didn't acknowledge defeat there in that speech.
It's one thing to say, to talk about your laurels, to talk about what you have done, to talk about why the policies on the other side are bad in your opinion. But it's another thing to go out there and just say, "Hey, vote for me, or else you are evil communist who hates democracy." That just says to me that you have nothing to say. You have nothing to hide. You are hiding from your failures, and you just want to quickly hate the other side, and that's all.
Yeah, threat to democracy is something that he also mentioned a million times, but then fails to realize that if anyone's a threat to anybody, it's the man that's up there calling half the country terrorists. Half the country are bad people in his minds. So
unless you vote for him, you are not a real American, apparently.
Yeah, when he does this, let's be real. His following are brain dead sheep. Okay, just think of a bunch of little Fettermans running around. That's his fan base. These people will do whatever he says. If he says you're a terrorist, in their minds, they'll attack you because they feel like they're doing the right thing. You see with these door knockers in Florida who literally has to have facial reconstruction surgery because he was a Republican in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Like, this is what they do to people now.
Well, you also have to remember that Biden is the guy that also said, if you don't vote for him, you're not black.
Yep.
Quan, care to comment?
I'm white, so I actually can't say anything. I've been told to just to support black voices, but only the correct black voices, the ones that they tell me to support.
Yeah. Oh, that's something there. But so Joe Biden failing to mention crime one time during his speeches should be the biggest red flag that we've ever had. If your president fails to mention what is literally getting people killed in many states in Democrat-run cities is a joke. We know what goes on in Chicago 24/7. We know what happens in New York. Just this week, someone got raped in the middle of the city. A mom got executed by her husband in front of their kids. This happens every day in New York and places like Chicago. He fails to mention this. Shouldn't this be even a red flag? Like, if there's any moderates on the fence, this speech where he should have been trying to unite his party, if anything, caused more division in his party. Like, there's going to be those that are moderates that are like, you know what, he didn't even mention the people that just got killed. These are headlines on the news.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we can all agree about how awful crime is and how awful certain acts of violence are. Yet he's not capable of coming across those party lines to discuss that with us. It's automatically we must be bad people who can't be possibly reasoned with. So he has to just ignore all of the important issues that we can all agree on possibly and just go straight to attacks.
Yeah. Another thing he failed to mention was China. So we all know China basically owns us half the time. Their fentanyl is killing us. I mean, they're bringing it right across the border. and he fails to mention them once again. But you know what? He'll surely write that check to Ukraine for millions, if not billions of dollars, almost like every other day, it seems like, but yet fails to mention our number one enemy. What could he get out of this? Like, what is the play of not bringing up the biggest enemy that he fails to acknowledge?
I think the left, they confuse relationship with other countries as powerful, when actually other countries are using us as a wallet, basically. Other countries walk all over us, and Democrats confuse that for friendship. It's all under control. We are in good talks with China. We are in good relationships with Israel. We are in good talks with Pakistan and all these places. I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah, no.
Well, you got to remember, a lot of these countries, they practically own us. We owe them so much money, and we rely on them for so much, whether it's oil, whether it's goods, whether it's any form of supply or resource. They own us, and we have no option but to bow to what they say, and whatever they want us to do, we have to do, because if they cut us off of the supply chain, well, this economy is going to get even worse.
I mean, we had a guy who put America first and brought jobs back here to America and allowed us to be self-sufficient without them, and we were doing great. But he was orange, so we couldn't have him.
Orange man bad.
I mean, it's a shame that the United States of America is in as much debt as it is, when we have resources here that we can use, but we're too busy caring about the environment as much more as our own to be able to sustain ourselves and use our own resources on our own land. But some people would rather protect the trees or protect the turtles more so than protect America's foundation of not having to rely on other countries.
Save the turtles, man. Save the turtles.
I don't mind if you are a environmentalist. I just want you to make sense. And I can't take any environmentalists seriously because they fail to mention nuclear power. They fail to mention that if we reduce our own oil production, then we are now using crude and more disgusting oil from China, from India, from Russia, and they just fail to address the actual problem each and every time.
Yeah, they're clowns. They don't like to talk facts. It's all about opinions and their feelings.
Instead of producing our own very, very clean oil, we have some of the cleanest oil in the world. Let's fly tons and tons and tons of barrels from around the world using jet fuel and cargo ships, where they have some of the worst mining methods and drilling methods in the world. Let's do that instead. That helps. From
our enemies, nonetheless.
Exactly. No, Russia, we have to use oil. I'm like, no, we don't. That's on you.
No. Yeah, I mean, we got plenty under our own feet here in Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? Like, plenty. And they don't want to use it because, save the turtles. But if I had to sum up Biden's speech, I would say it like this. He fails to acknowledge the crime or the fentanyl, which gets people killed, which normally you'd be like, well, that's a terrible job by the president because he should care about the citizens of his country. Well, it doesn't just stop there, because something he likes to talk about a lot is abortion. So not only does he fail to acknowledge death in the streets, he promotes death in the womb. So we have a speech from the president where he ignores death and then also praises it at the same time. That is such a dark speech from somebody that's supposed to be, the uniter in chief, the guy that's supposed to bring us together. Just such dark times currently.
Yeah, I think it was Stacey Abrams. I'm not quite sure. She was talking and said the best way to help with the gas issue and with inflation is to kill your kids.
Yeah, it was.
The reason why you cannot afford groceries is because you have kids. I'm like, how are you turning the most wonderful thing in the world, having children, the next generation? How are you turning that into a bad thing? How are you blaming the economy on literal kids?
Yeah. Literally, know what? Kill your kids and you can afford your groceries is basically what was said.
Kill your kids, buy a Tesla.
Yeah, Elon probably would accept that. Oh man,
I don't know.
I wouldn't say that about Elon.
I don't say that either.
He's trying to populate more. He's saying population is one of the biggest issues.
He's trying to populate the earth, but he's also a non-religious individual, so I don't think death really bothers him because his company pays for abortions. So
I think there's a reason why Elon Musk moved to the West versus staying in Africa. I think like he does share a lot of those Western values that are inside of the Judeo-Christian values. I'm not sure about his opinion on abortion. I may not be informed about it, but you seem to know some more about it, Austin.
Yeah, his company, when it was whole breaking Roe v. Wade, and everything, his company, I believe it was Tesla. He owns a couple now, but they were paying for employees to go out of state to get an abortion. So in my opinion, that tells me everything I need to know about him. So I don't think he would care.
Strike against Elon then. Yeah.
But I don't know if anyone has anything else to add to the Biden speech, but just a complete disaster, just like a State of the Union where he had that evil red glowing light behind him in Philly. He has the big moments. He has his opportunities to say something smart. He can't because he's dumb, but then he can't say anything at all that makes sense. Like, you're just dividing more and more. That's his point.
He made a big point when he was running for president that he was going to be the most inclusive president there ever was and be the president of everybody, right, left, center. And then he has done the complete opposite from day one.
Yeah, he doesn't even include a lot of Democrats half the time when he's talking about things. Like, he is separating his own party, which is like rule number one. You're not supposed to even do that.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like, people who normally would be Democrats feel fall into that like media control and like usually just kind of do whatever they're told. Even they're like, okay, wait a minute, this is kind of crazy. Giving kids injections, that's kind of crazy. Cutting off genitals of children, kind of crazy. Abortion up to 9 months, kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if the Democrats were trying to hand it to the Republicans as easy as possible because they want a better economy. But I mean, picking Joe Biden to be the candidate for the president, it handed the Republicans a free win, come 2024, because the economy, I always say, is the biggest factor when people go to vote, is because it affects them directly, and it's the first thing that affects them. And once they see that's where they're going to vote for the biggest change.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some people still thinking, oh, it's Putin's fault. Oh, it's the Republicans' fault. Oh, it's just this and the other. I'm like, no. Listen, you have a guy making extreme policies, people who did more executive orders in his first month than anybody else. It's obvious what's the problem.
Yeah, Joe Biden himself. That's all the problem.
If Joe Biden didn't do anything at all in his first year, 2 years presidency, we would be better off.
100%.
He could have just sat there and waved at the people, and we actually would have had a better economy.
He doesn't even have to do that. He can literally go hide in his basement again and call himself president, and I'd be a million times happier than what he's doing now.
Exactly. We just would not care. Like, okay, cool. He's gone.
I'd even visit him at his beach house. I'd stop by it every once in a while.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
He's
hard working.
For the podcast, you guys don't know this, but I went to Biden's beach house and took a picture in front of his house. And then later that week, they said they were putting up this giant wall. So yeah, I like to think that I'm the reason that they're putting up a wall.
Whoa. Walls work? What?
If it's for Biden's house, walls work. If it's for the southern border, they don't.
I forgot that walls have politics.
Yeah, rules for him. We don't get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes they don't work or do work depending on who you are.
Oh man, what a crackhead! Well, wrong Biden. My bad.
Wrong Biden.
Yeah, wrong one.
Anyways, I think that's all we got to speak about Biden's speech. So we'll be right back talking about the whole Twitter with Elon and AOC. We'll be right back.
The XM42 Flamethrower. Pick up your ultralight backpack for a longer burn time. Turn up the heat at your next bonfire. Get yours now on sale at warfieldarms.com.
So, donkey face herself, AOC, is now having Twitter beef with the chief tweet, I think is what he calls himself.
Chief Twit. Yeah, she's catcalling Elon Musk right now.
Does she just want to date him?
Absolutely. She thinks he's so sexy.
I think she wants that free blue check.
Exactly. Yeah. She was a Tesla owner, so we know.
She's willing to spend that money. She's clearly got it. So I don't know how $8 a month is really going to affect her.
I'm like, what a story though. Like, no, she was a barista to a congresswoman. Now she wants to be Mrs. Elon Musk, billionaire.
Failed barista to failed congresswoman to Probably going to be an ex of Elon down the road. I mean, who could stay with that for a long time? Let's be real.
Yeah, I'm sure being some form of in Congress, I'm sure that they'll get a tax write-off for the blue check of some sort.
Yeah. $8, $8. You are commoditizing this like elitist package. I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
This blue...
I mean, $8. Let's be real. So for anyone that hasn't heard, let me just clarify this real quick. So the blue check mark verification on Twitter will now be $8 a month because Elon took over. That's a way to make money because Twitter is losing money. We'll get into that a little later. But $8 a month, I mean, that's just like a streaming subscription. So it's really not that bad. Like, I mean, I'm telling you right now, I'll get it for a month just because I want that screenshot of me being verified. Like, come on now.
I mean, it's practically the same price of milk, a gallon of milk nowadays.
Practically.
But yeah, the idea of the verification was just to make sure that you were verified as far as you were who you say you were on your account. But now it's a status symbol. It's who is popular enough to have one, and that gives you certain privileges. Like, no, not everyone else does, and that's very arbitrary. People are like, oh, it's for journalists. I'm like, no, it's not. Absolutely, no, it's not. This is definitely a way to show who has the most power, and then if you speak out or say anything, then you'll be deleted. You will have your blue check mark deleted from you. It's like, no, this is definitely just a tool for the elitist.
Yeah, and let's be real here. AOC is such a hypocrite because she's a congresswoman. She's got the money. $8, that's what you're crying about? Instead of doing your job and making the people you represent, making their lives better, you're choosing to complain on Twitter about Twitter.
Yeah. Also with her $59 sweaters that she sells.
Yeah.
Her $59 anti-capitalism sweaters.
Yeah. How do you have room to talk about $8 when you're going to sell a sweater for nearly $60? Like, that's just mind blowing. It's like, no one's going to buy your junk unless they are literally like a fan of you, like a diehard sheep following you. Like, nobody wants that junk.
But no, people are losing their minds on TikTok as well. Like these kids our ages are just like, wow, how dare you let them do this? I'm like, you guys realize that the checkmark didn't have any real prestige anyway. Who cares $8 because it didn't matter anyway.
Yeah, if anything, because I saw AOC was like, well, now you got to spend $8 to free speech. And it's like, no, you can still get on Twitter and say whatever you want for free. But now you have that option of being verified so people really know it's you instead of only being for the elites. Now, at least you have that option if you want to spend $8. Let's be real. Cancel your Disney Plus and you got your $8. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the thing is, like, that's true for any other platform as well. It's like, of course I can go on TikTok and make a video for free, but if I really wanted to, I could pay to have it pushed out. That is the same thing with checkmark, is that you get extra privileges with the checkmark. So absolutely pay for it. Yeah,
and also on Twitter, they are now losing $4 million a day because these advertisers are pulling off their platform because Elon is running it the way he is now.
Yeah, growing pains, of course.
So he's saying, in a way, this $8 fee will be able to sustain Twitter while these companies are pulling out. And he also said that there may be a shot that he actually says who these companies' advertisers are, so that way there could be a boycott of these people pulling out.
He said that?
Yes, he tweeted that out, that he may release the information of these brands.
I don't think the $8 is going to completely hold them up. I think that there are plenty of advertisers who are willing to work with more conservative companies. And I'm perfectly fine with the idea of saying we should know which companies are going to not support free speech.
Yeah, I think it's very important to know that because I won't be supporting you if you don't support free speech.
Yeah, I forget who it was. With Daily Wire, they had a sponsor who sold razors. So who was it? Harry's Razors.
Yes.
And then Harry Razors called basically all of their audience idiots. So they tried to openly say, hey Razors, suck it. We are gonna have our own company now because we are not gonna have sponsors who can't support us.
What is it? Jeremy's Razors now is what Daily Wire started. I can't say I bought their product either, but
I don't shave with razors because I have really sensitive skin on my face, so I have to shave by the other means. But I absolutely would if I did.
Dustin doesn't shave at all.
Yeah, I mean, when it just stops growing, you don't even have to worry about it. It's kind of nice.
We are not sponsors of Jeremy's Razors.
But if they do want to sponsor us,
if you want to sponsor us, we're here. We'll do it. Michael Knowles did comment on one of my TikToks. So I feel like if you're listening.
Yeah. Also on Twitter, Biden and the White House is now getting fact checked, which is strange because fact checkers have always been for the left. Now Joe Biden sends out a tweet, he gets fact checked, and then they delete the tweet. We finally have a way to shut up Joe Biden.
It was so like also Elon's fact checks are so good. Like they make sense.
Yeah.
It used to be like I'll say on Twitter, hey, there are millions of illegals coming into the country. And they'll say, fact check, Donald Trump hates Mexicans. I'm like, that's not part of what I just said.
Yeah, that's an opinion check. That's
not opinion.
Yeah, the amount of tweets when you would scroll Twitter and it would be like this was checked by by the fact checkers. This is under review of fact. Like the amount of like tweets that it is, it's ridiculous. It can be the most like mundane thing and just it's being checked by something, and it's like, why? Like everything doesn't need to be checked.
Well, just like today, okay? I posted a story on Instagram. It's been down for a week. I said, Nancy turned Paul gay. Okay, and a week later, I get a fact check by saying this is wrong information. How can you tell me that's wrong? That is an opinion checker, straight up. You can't tell me that Paul is not gay. Okay, unless you go to Paul and say, did Nancy turn you gay? And he says, no. I don't want to hear no fact check because nobody's answered that question.
We can't joke anymore. I feel like online it's okay to say things that may not be true. You have opinion about, you're joking about, and have they be fine because again, it's your opinion, it's your joke, it's your whatever. Unless you're going, hey, this is absolute 100% fact. There's no point.
No, it's a sad. I'm happy what they're doing with the fact checks on Twitter, but I'd be a lot happier if fact checks just disappeared in general. I mean, I'm glad that Elon has his people. Well, I guess his people now correcting it. I don't know how they're running the fact checks because I'm sure they just switch overnight. I guess it's new people, but I'm glad that there's actually a correction under these delusional tweets by the White House saying the dumbest things.
I think a good compromise is if you're a company that is claiming to provide news that is fact worthy. I think they should be open up to fact checks that way. But if you just a random guide on Twitter, who cares? Yeah,
it's free speech. Like what he said, they're opinion checking. If there's nothing to fact and we're just joking, how can you fact check this? Like that's stupid. But hopefully he keeps up the good work with that. Like I said in the past, I'm not a big Elon guy, but this is something that he's done right. So I'll give him credit when he deserves it, and hopefully he keeps it up because it's making Biden look dumb.
Super dumb.
It's not a hard thing to do to make that guy look dumb.
That's true.
You just put a camera in front of him and he finds a way.
It's hard to make him look smart, but Fetterman did that. But we'll be right back after this break, and we're going to talk about the potential TikTok ban and Kyrie Irving.
Hey y'all, some idiot told me that human trafficking wasn't the biggest problem in the world. I disagree. To see why and many other topics, follow my Instagram at @talciv.
As for me, I want to talk about community, about liberty, about our responsibilities to one another and to our communities. I feel like we are so divided nowadays. So to hear more about that and to have those conversations, follow me at The Political Warfield.
Finally, for me, people call me homophobic and transphobic, which is completely true. Discover why by following me at Official Rhino Show. So, TikTok may be banned soon, according to the FCC commissioner. They want TikTok banned because it's not safe for your personal information. Apparently, China has access to all of it. I guess when they say all of it, they mean all of it.
Yeah.
That's not surprising, though. I mean, Trump wanted to ban this a year ago. Ultimately, it got bought out by, I believe, an American company, but all the information still goes to China.
Yeah, there's a bigger parent company for China. I believe to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah. I'm going to be real here, and I think TikTok personally should be banned. I love TikTok. I spend way too much of my life on TikTok. I post too many videos on TikTok. But TikTok, if it's not safe for our information, why are we selling out everything to the CCP? I don't see why we'd voluntarily do that. And let's be real, TikTok is great for conservatives to speak out because we reach the liberal audience. But TikTok is almost doing more of a negative cause to our country than positive, because what these kids are seeing on TikTok isn't just us talking politics. There's a lot worse things on TikTok that they shouldn't be seeing.
Yeah, TikTok, I think is making it really, really hard still for you to speak about conservative content. But also, like, I think they are pushing hard for like leftist value, but as well as pornography on TikTok is crazy large, which I think is a really big issue.
Yeah, it's a huge issue because pornography is on TikTok now. We've seen multiple people talk about it on other podcasts and stuff. You know, if you're scrolling your For You page, you don't have to like anything about that, and something might end up popping. The algorithm, like we said, is so twisted because you can like only politics and you'll still get a video out of nowhere. It's like, this shouldn't be on my algorithm. It's because they're trying to feed that to you. They don't know that, you know, we're hard-headed here. We're not going to be like, oh man, look at this. And they're like, oh, let me like this. So it pops like, but children, when they target them, they do.
Exactly.
So that is why they're pushing so hard, because when a child sees it, they're going to like it. You know what I mean?
And yeah, also like back to like the data thing as well. People might ask like, oh, Facebook is already buying your data anyway. Like, yeah, I'm like, listen, I'd rather a American company do it than a Chinese company do it. Like, again, companies should not be stealing our data from us. Absolutely not. None of them should. We still should crack down on that overall. But I would rather an American company do it than a Chinese company.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, every American company knows everything about me. I'm like an open book. I don't hide anything.
Yeah. But like, even to like go to like the more conservative side of TikTok, I think there's a lot of conservative content creators that are playing for the algorithm that actually aren't doing anything for the cause.
Oh, 100%. There's a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I think there's a certain amount of popularity that you can get from being a conservative as amongst other conservative viewers, and you can lie basically about all your beliefs to kind of get that kind of clout.
Yeah, and I think that's a big problem now, because the more and more time you spend on this, most people aren't like us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most people are there for the following, for the likes, for the attention. We're not there for any of that. Like, I don't care. I want my video to get views because that means I'm reaching more people. I couldn't care any less about what people think of me. Like, I don't care how many likes it gets. I just want people to see it.
Exactly. And I think TikTok is really, really bad about like making you want to do stuff that is not technically right. Like they like, for me, like their videos that I do that do very, very, very well, but I won't do them all the time because that's not like, you know, that's not what I want to do. Like, I don't want to continually make the same kind of content. I don't want to continually make the same kind of content that makes hate. TikTok thrives on hate. And so I don't want to make videos that just all like, you know, that's all about hate.
Yeah, it does thrive on hate because, I mean, let's be real here. If I say anything about the Alphabet Army, okay, the LGBTQIA plus, whatever they are now, I get banned instantly. Every single time. I can't have a video for an hour, no matter what I'm saying, whether it's drag queens and kids or whether it's just them trying to, you know, groom children in schools. I can't say anything. If they sit there with their pro LGBTQ, you know, videos, they get hundreds of thousands of views every time because that's what TikTok wants these kids to see to make it think it's normal.
Exactly. And like, this all can be applied to other companies as well, like Twitter, like Facebook, like YouTube, like Instagram. But on TikTok, it's just so bad. It is so like intense on TikTok.
Yeah, I think it's worse on TikTok though, personally, because there are a lot more younger individuals, kids on TikTok than there are, say, on Facebook or Twitter. Like, it's so much more propaganda on TikTok for them to watch.
Yeah, TikTok is just so suggestive, and like on TikTok, you consume so much content so quickly.
Yeah, Dustin, I know you post TikToks probably more than either of us. So,
really?
Yeah, all the time, dude. He said he was going to have 1,000 TikTok followers like a year ago. He hasn't made a video since. So, what's your opinion on this?
My opinion is, so the issue that I have with TikTok is it like you guys said, it pushes for hate. And two, I mean, the amount of videos that I come across like that at the bottom, you see it's, dangerous acts are performed in here. Like they're promoting this stuff. And like instead of taking videos down like that promote hate, promote dangerous activity, and they will state that it promotes dangerous activity, but yet keep it still up on their app. I think that's the biggest issue because that's what gets views. That's what you see has the millions of views. It's stuff like that has warnings, but they still allow to get onto their app.
And what's crazy is that you can duet or stitch these videos that are that are like that way. And TikTok, instead of banning the video original, they would ban you for just reposting what they already have on their app.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because, I've had videos taken down now for hateful behavior. I've had videos taken down. This is my favorite one for nudity. When all of that is shown is my face. I'm wearing a hat most of the time. So all you literally see is my face, but I'm nude. But then you come across actual TikToks with nudity and they have hundreds of thousands of views. It's like the double standard here is sickening.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like again, like I said, like I appreciate TikTok. I think it afforded me a lot of opportunities. I think it's a great way originally for to share content. It just they take everything to the extreme and it's awful as far as the far end of it.
Yeah, but with the whole security, aspect of it, and then the whole, mind washing, like brainwashing, like of kids nowadays, like I can see why people want to ban, and I feel like like I said, I'm on the fence because I hate limiting speech, but at the same time, when it's a security issue, and all it's doing is hurting our kids, I can't find a reason to fight for keeping it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like again, like I don't think this is issue necessarily of free speech. This is issue of data mining to another nation. I think we still have a free speech and we still talk about what we want to talk about. Just on this platform in particular, they are using it as an opportunity to steal people's data, which is a crime.
All right, now I'm curious. Let's take a vote here. I vote ban. What do you guys think?
I vote a American buyout the entire company.
Yeah, I obviously the best option is if an American company can buy it and control it. I think that's the best. If not, you have two options. I feel like a ban would be reasonable. If not, if you're going to have another country stealing data and being able to use it against us, and the other option is to eliminate China from being able to access this stuff and just put more restrictions on it and actually, have monitoring, because the monitoring system they use now does not work. They flag the videos that shouldn't get flagged. And then obviously there's videos out there with nudity and with dangerous acts and stuff that don't even get flagged and get pushed through, and how they, these videos get thousands of views.
Yeah. I think ideally, again, like you said, American buying it out. Second step would be either just putting better reins on China and make sure this kind of stuff doesn't happen anymore. And then third would be to ban it if all else fails.
I think personally, we can't work on trying to get an American to buy it, because we already did that once and China still owns everything. I believe it's in their contract that China will get all information no matter who owns it. I believe that was in their original contract. So I don't think another American company buying it again will change it. I think maybe if we ditch TikTok and we have an American alternative and just whoever's got the money, make one, that would be a better option. There's plenty of people with the money.
Well, the alternative would be to go to Instagram Reels, or it would be YouTube Shorts. I mean, those are the two alternatives currently.
But they aren't really alternatives though. Like the following that you can get, the views that you can get on TikTok are way easier than on Instagram or YouTube. And YouTube is very, very strict as well.
And what was that, Vine that was out before TikTok?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very easily something like somebody with money, like Elon, instead of buying Twitter, I mean, he could have made his own TikTok, and guess what? He would have had a lot of people switch to it because he's Elon Musk, and he would have been the bad guy that owns Twitter. He would have been, look at my American TikTok.
I mean, he put out a poll saying, should he bring back Vine?
Did he? Well,
he did on Twitter. Yeah.
What was the answer? I'm assuming.
I have no idea. Probably a lot of yeses. Yeah. But yeah, I think the idea that is that we need to allow capitalism to win over. It's like someone in America has to make a better app that crushes TikTok.
And like I said last week, him buying Twitter, great. I don't think that I know what you said. You said it throws off the, forget how you said it, but the balance of power, basically. So I agree with that, but I feel like Elon could have, let's just use him as an example. If he decided to buy TikTok, if possible, I feel like that would have been better for the free speech because there's a lot more people that use TikTok over Twitter. I feel like if somebody had that money to be able to buy TikTok or make an alternative, there could be more of an impact.
I think as far as business goes, I think TikTok would have been a harder acquisition. I think Twitter was a much easier thing to buy, in my personal opinion. I think Twitter was in a state of where it was easier to purchase it. I think Twitter is almost one of the ground zeros. I feel like TikTok is a after problem that has gotten out of control as well. But I feel like Twitter was like that one of those first places that got like so bad first. And so I don't mind the purchase of Twitter. I think it was a good step as far as cutting out one of the most fundamental platforms, which was Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Those were the four pillars, basically. The four OGs, basically.
Well, speaking about social media and sharing content and speaking out, Kyrie Irving recently did. He shared a link to a movie, which is anti-Semitic, apparently. Basically call him Little Kanye now because they're the same. They're both, in the eyes of the people, bad people now for speaking about what they believe. And they both apologized for it afterwards, which is the most coward thing to do. If that's what you believe, you stick by it. I don't care what they take from you. If that's your opinion, you don't apologize. You don't bend the knee for the mob. The NBA. Let's be real now. The NBA. What is the NBA? I thought we were. Team. Yeah.
Sports team.
I thought we were trying to get away from the narrative of shut up and dribble. Correct? Wasn't that a big thing? Weren't athletes supposed to be able to have their opinion? Oh, wait. Kyrie Irving can't have that opinion because it goes against their narrative, which is amazing because the NBA is such a bunch of hypocrites because they make billions of dollars off of China where they still have Muslims in concentration camps. So if you want to say this black man can't have an opinion because it goes against you, they don't really have room to talk here.
Yeah. I'm going to put a caveat on the coward thing as far as apologizing. I think it depends on the situation. If you can be honest and just say, hey, listen, I'm going to keep my views to myself because again, I'm here for the check. Fine, whatever, man. That's your thing. That's your job. I understand. You don't have to go out there and like talk about that kind of stuff if you are in sports, whatever. Okay. Do your job, take home your check, go home. That's fine. But if you want to stay, if you're going to go out there and talk about it, you should be willing to take on that responsibility. And then if it gets too hard for you, say, hey, listen, guys, I couldn't do it. Too hard for me. I need the money. At least be honest about it. You know what I mean?
I have a problem with it because he was off the clock. He wasn't on the court protesting like they did with the anthem.
Yep.
B, the NBA is famous for shut up and dribble.
Yep.
They say they're more than athletes and they need to use their voice to speak out. When somebody does and they don't like it, they tell them to shut up and dribble. That's where I find the big problem. It's not like he's doing it on the court while he's getting paid to do it.
Yeah, and again, the left is very hypocritical. Everything that they accuse everyone else of doing, they do themselves, of course. But right now, it's like the pressure to conform is crazy, and not every dude is strong enough to stand up to it. And right now, it's very obvious that a lot of people that we thought can't.
Yeah, and I'm going to be real here. I don't have $2 billion to lose like Kanye. I don't have an NBA contract to get taken from me like Kyrie.
Yeah.
I'm telling you one thing. If I believe something, you ain't getting me to apologize for it. I mean, you might be able to take my $20, my $200, whatever it doesn't compare to $2 billion.
That's true.
But you're not getting me to apologize for something I believe.
Yeah. Again, if you were talking about your livelihood, if you want to preserve that, that's fine. But do it in an honest way. Stop pretending like you are for the cause and then immediately backing down. Listen, it's okay to say I'm not going to throw away my career for this political ideas that I want to promote. Okay, cool, man, that's your thing. There are other folks who will. Yeah. But don't pretend like you are, you are all for the war and then back down.
The problem I have with it is like what you're just saying is he stood by it.
Yep.
He didn't apologize, and
Yep.
then he got suspended, and then he apologized and
Yep.
said, "Well, the movie was a lie. That it really isn't what it was supposed to be." Like, you can't be for it, and all of a sudden, as soon as they suspend you, then be like, "Oh, well, you know what? That's not really what it's about. You know, it's not really the anti-Semitic part is wrong. You know, the history of it's wrong." It's like, dude, you were sharing it for a reason. Stop trying to like kiss up to your bosses now. It's
Yeah,
pathetic.
and like I think back in the day, there's a time period where, like, again, you could genuinely change your mind, and you can genuinely apologize and, like, be humble, and then people would show you mercy and like, okay, I understand, okay, because your views change, this, that, and the other way, whatever. But nowadays, it's no, like, you can't apologize because they will destroy you. It's no longer a act of mercy and an act of humility. It's now do it or else we will destroy you.
Yeah, and
So it's not honest anymore.
well, like I've said multiple times, I think I said it last week. You don't have to agree with Kanye. You don't have to agree with Kyrie, but you should respect their opinion. Like you don't have to like it, but respect the free speech. He's allowed to say that if that's what he believes.
Yeah, it's same with people like people on the left. Like I respect their people, AOC's ability to to talk about her anger, or whatever, online. That's her choice. She's wrong. She's stupid. But it's her choice to say that out loud, and it's fine. And it's crazy that nowadays, like, and people are under so much pressure as far as like they will take your money from you. Like at this point, like they will destroy your entire life unless you conform. That's wild.
Well, speaking of pressure and being able to take money away from people, I would like to inform you guys a little bit of breaking news that Nike has just dropped Kyrie Irving and suspended his Nike deal about an hour ago.
And this is Friday night we're recording. You'll hear this Monday.
Yeah, they put out a statement saying, at Nike, we believe there is no place for hate speech, and we condemn any form of anti-Semitism to end. We made the decision to suspend our relationship with Kyrie Irving effective immediately and will no longer launch the Kyrie 8. We are deeply sad and disappointed by the situation and its impacts on everyone.
So he apologizes and then still gets suspended from his contract. So what did apologizing get you, my guy?
That's how it
You
works.
just look weak.
They make you apologize and then they destroy you anyway. People don't realize that no matter how much you apologize, if you are on the radar, you are going down, no matter what. They cannot let you live.
Yeah, and last year he made roughly $11 million from Nike from his shoe deal with them. So he's losing a lot of money. All because of something he said or posted. He didn't even say, he posted.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, like, if these guys again didn't have such a love for money, they would have been fine. Like, again, like if I was an NBA player and I didn't, I made millions of dollars each year, and I wouldn't, and I didn't have a love for money, but I had a love for my family and for truth and all that stuff. If they said to come after my career, that's fine, because I have enough money to live off of the actual rest of my life.
Dude, bro's been in the league for 10 plus years now. Probably.
He's
like,
fine.
If he was smart enough, he should have plenty of money. He should be able to withstand this. If they want to suspend him. When his contract's up or they let him go, there's going to be another team that wants Kyrie Irving. Like, not all 30 owners are going to be like, oh, what you did is completely wrong. Somebody's going to want to sign you into a contract because you're an all-star player. Like, you can get another contract. It might not be with a great team. Somebody's going to take that waiver on you because people have done way worse and been in the league.
Yeah, as well as for example, Shaq owns tons of companies. He makes tons of money from other sources besides basketball or sponsors. And so he's capable, if he wants to do whatever he likes, because he has that money in other places, and he's not controlled by one industry.
Yeah. I think one final thing I had to say about this whole anti-Semitic thing is some of these conservatives are a complete joke. Like,
yeah,
literally. Deborah, I mean, what?
Name dropping? Okay, jeez.
I just can't. You act like hate is a new thing. Like, hate isn't at come at everybody else yet. You act like just because it's a Jewish thing, it's the end of the world now. Like, hate comes to everybody. Hate comes to Christians too. I hate to tell you that. Hate comes to conservatives in general. We deal with hate all the time. Stop acting like nobody else has dealt with hate like you are right now. Stop acting like we're going to wake up one day and it's going to be at us. It's been at us. The hate's been coming at us for a long time here.
Yeah, I hate that. People are like, oh, but what if they do this? Like, oh, we can't do this because then they do that. I'm like, they already are. Like, they already are doing that. So, what's the point of being afraid about it?
Hate should almost fuel you in a way. Like people hate you, you're doing the right thing if people hate you. I hate to say
You're doing something, and you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Usually nowadays.
If I was to have a final, say on the whole thing is being a Republican, being a conservative, if you're not racist, you're anti-Semitic. If you're not anti-Semitic, you're a terrorist. If you're not a terrorist, it's something after another. Whatever they can label us at the time, they will. And until that label wears out, they find a new one. And that's just how it is. We're labeled all these things. And at the end of the day, they get mad at their own people for doing the same thing and, generalizing, groups and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think at least the Democrats, they're just hypocrites, and it's a full circle, and you just see that same circle repeat itself over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I think conservatives, like a lot of conservatives, are actually just nice people. We like the idea of saying sorry, of apologizing, of mending relationships. We like being polite. And so when people are mad at us or mean to us, we want to apologize. We want to make things right. We want to extend the olive branch. And it's important for us to realize that in today's climate, that's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not possible. We should not be people pleasing to people who want to kill babies at 9 months. We should not care about their opinions.
No.
If I don't know what I would do in my life. I was saying, oh, my self-value is dependent on what some guy who wants to kill babies at 9 months thinks about me.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And most of these conservatives have a big following are the problem because they become soft. Like, I'm tired of the crybaby BS. Not everybody's out to get you. You have a difference in opinion. People don't like that. I have a difference in opinion. People doesn't mean I hate them. Stop with this, crying about hate 24/7. Like, I'm just tired of seeing it. It's a difference in opinion. They're allowed to say what they want. That's the beauty of this country. Deal with it. You don't have to like it.
Yeah. If you are a person who puts yourself out in the spotlight, if you decide to be in the public eye and make your opinions known, you should be ready for that, ready for those opinions to be attacked. Take it on the chin like a champ. Keep moving on.
Yeah, 100%.
And again, to these creators who are already huge, you already have a good following. You have the opportunity to spread a genuinely good conservative message. Stop placating to this white audience. The truth is not vague. The truth is not widespread. The truth is very, very precise.
Yeah. I wish some of these larger creators, I don't know how they got that big, probably based off their looks.
Like, again, listen to other people. Again, like, we're all human. I understand that there's this thing to want to please people. I understand that it's hard. I understand that there are these deals that you get money thrown at you. You get all these collaborations thrown at you, and you want to play the game. I get that. It's all very tempting, but we need to have the good sense in ourselves to keep up our morals and to keep up our courage and to say no to the money, to say no to the promotions. It's not about fame. It is about the good message.
Yeah. And I think that's why they do it. They put out these messages trying to be the opposite. I mean, be like, oh, conservatives are for free speech, but he's anti-Semitic, so I can't support this guy. It's like, no, if you're a conservative, you would support free speech. You don't have to agree with him, but that's it.
Yeah, like,
you're doing it for attention.
And I think it's important for us to be very, very precise with our language as well. I think conservatives sometimes go free speech and then they don't talk about what that actually means, and they go in detail like, okay, this is what I mean by that. And people are like, oh, I have to support this wholeheartedly or not. And like, no, there is somewhere in between where you can guys have that truth of, yes, free speech, as well as I disagree with what he's saying.
Yeah, and it's very simple to do, like you just said. You don't have to like it, but that's their right. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, there is somewhere in the middle for truth. You don't have to go fully extreme to both ends.
Yeah, I mean, you go to any one of our TikTok comment sections. I don't like any of what they're saying in there, but I respect their opinion to write it. It's their free speech. If that's what they believe, write it.
Exactly. I think I've only ever removed comments that were actual threats. I think I've done that before. It's like, if someone threatens someone with like harm or death, I'm like, okay, no more of that.
Yeah, not on a comment section, but like if it's a DM, I'm like, hey, at least he's got the balls to say what he believes.
That's true.
Oh man. Wow, that's quite the situation. We'll see how that Kyrie situation develops and what happens next. He'll probably be suspended for the season. They'll probably try to cancel everything he's a part of. No more business deals. We won't see Kyrie on the basketball court again for a while. 5 games is just a start.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a lot of groveling on his knees for him to be able to get back to where he was if he continues down this road.
I mean, he already started off bad last year going against the vaccine mandates, so that is a strike number 2 on him at least.
Yeah, but I actually hope that he does take this opportunity to kind of grow and kind of stand up for his beliefs again. Like, he didn't say, you know what, I'm not going to sit here and take it. Hopefully.
Hopefully this Nike news that broke, hopefully with this deal breaking, like, hopefully it wakes him up, like, doesn't matter if I apologize. It doesn't make a difference. They're going to try to cancel me, screw me over any way possible. But I think that's all we got this week, boys. I think that was a all over the place podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, this is dropping on Monday. Elections are Tuesday. Go vote. Make your voice heard. Save your state. Save the country. Do your research. But until then, we'll talk to you guys next week. See you
later.
Yep. Also, tell your mom you love her. Goodbye.